Hey, boys and girls, and everybody else. Welcome to the Shead Show. I'm your host, Ryan Shed, along with my best friend here,
I'm
Ian.
somebody he just picked up off the road. What's going on?
Yeah, that's right, brother. I just stopped by. You said, hey,
Stop
can I
by,
get a
man.
ride?
Can
Can
I
I
get
get
some
a
light?
ride?
Hop on in. That's what it was.
Hop on
That's what it
in, brother.
was.
Hop on in.
Happy
So,
Friday, brother.
yeah, man, how you doing? How's the family?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Little man's great.
Good.
You can't go wrong. How are you? How is the fam?
The Tooth Fairy's going broke around here.
Oh,
Uh, yeah,
oh. We
so
cashing checks.
No, Dominic's lost two this week, and Livy's lost
Wow.
one. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's
Amazing.
been
Amazing.
yeah, Tooth Fairy's hurting around here.
Oh, they're growing up, man. They're growing up. What
Dude,
up to
too
Kaylin? What up to
fast.
Patrick? We see you. What's up? Happy Friday.
Oh yeah, my big brother's in here. What's up, Pat?
What up, big bro?
Um, so I thought we'd start it light this week. Um, and in light, I mean, let's light up. The airman who lit himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in DC.
Damn.
Yeah,
We really did a show like that.
I mean, let's just get into
Welcome
it.
to the show.
Why,
Welcome to the show.
why tap dance around? You know what I'm saying?
Why pussyfoot? I got you, man.
Yeah,
I got you.
why? Let's just get into it. So, let
So
me ask you, what was your initial, even before you just read into it to know even more about the story? What was your initial knee jerk reaction?
honest opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Honest opinion. Okay, so I do believe in the protest of this kind of I believe in this kind of protest. And I'm going to say this, and maybe this is going to be a little foul for some folks. I believe in this protest if it's your country, your religion, you're the one being attacked,
Okay.
your
Okay.
people, and you're like, I'm not being heard. So I will steal everything from this movement by becoming the image of, right?
Right.
Um, i.e., Vietnam, 1963. The monk sets himself on fire, like a very iconic, sitting there in deep meditation, completely lit on
Yeah.
fire. And there's nothing you can say to that. Like, I'm sorry, that picture is etched into my brain. I mean,
Forever.
it became part of a culture. Rage Against the Machine used it for the album art, like
Yep.
because they understood what the assignment was. I have a quote for you. I actually thought about this earlier today. John F. Kennedy said that
Mm.
said one photo. No news picture in history has generated so much emotion around the world as that one. Specifically on that photo of the monk in meditation burning. Um, I watched the photo of this young gentleman. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to remember his name. His message did not resonate with me. There was nothing about it that I thought was anything other than watching a young American man be radicalized by a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
And it's tragic because that's not what his message was. There is some talk on Reddit about him being anti-Semitic. There's some talk of some of his information being out there that he put out this, death to Israel kind of language, which is really wild to think about if true that he was putting out
Yeah.
such a message. But realistically, I watched the footage. I know you and I briefly spoke. You did not watch it, which I don't think. And I loved
No,
your
I
response.
ended up watching it.
You did watch it. Okay. But I
Yeah.
loved your response. Your response when I wrote to you was, did you see it? And you go, Ian, I'm watching my diet today. And I thought, oh, Ryan, man, that resonated with me because of that
Yep.
conversation we had about your diet is not just what you eat. It's everything you take in.
Yep.
What you're listening to, what you see, of course,
Absolutely.
what you are putting on, what your fabric is, how you feel that day, and of course what you eat. And
Yeah.
I just really, there was a moment where I thought, you know what, these therapy sessions with you are really working between us as a
Oh,
husband
yeah.
and
Yeah.
wife. I see
Yeah.
that therapy is
Absolutely.
working for us. So this is
Like,
great. This is great.
it's a relationship. You know what I
It
mean?
is a relationship. But I feel
And
seen. I feel like you're listening and you heard me.
well, and to kind of give you a compliment back. What I appreciated today was, for all you guys out there, for everybody watching, Ian called me up today knowing that, I'm a veteran, and not just that, but I was an airman too, just like this guy was. So he called me up and said, hey man, I just want to run this by you, just to make sure that's not gonna, I don't want to ruffle your feathers on air. And I really appreciated that, even though we ended up being on the same page, it was just, I really appreciated that you would, think ahead like that. So, yeah, no, it's definitely, it's a relationship, that's for sure. But for me, when we were talking earlier, what stood out to me was the effectiveness of this event, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're all talking about it for this week, but
Right.
the next salacious thing that happens, we're going to move on. And as you said a minute ago, are we going to remember this guy's name?
Yeah.
Probably not. And at the end of the day, what did this accomplish? It didn't accomplish much. What would have accomplished even more, and I believe he was not far from getting out of the military anyway. Like,
Yeah,
I guess
he was
he'd already made
retiring.
the decision he was going to retire,
Yep.
get out.
Yep.
So, but even that, what would have been a much more effective protest would have been, you know what, I'm going AWOL today. I'm walking away from the military because I cannot participate in this any longer. Like, I can't even wait until I retire. I have to be done
Right.
today.
I want to
The
get off this
media
road
attention
trip.
that would have garnered would have
Yeah.
been far more reaching than this. And even more importantly, if you're trying to dismantle the current administration, if you believe that they're the problem,
Right.
then what better, the Republicans would have grabbed onto that kid going, or that guy going AWOL, and they would have rode that all the way to November. And they would have not letting you forgotten his name, and he would have been the poster child. And then when he got out, he would have been running for Congress.
Right.
That would have been a much more effective way to do it. But as Ian's been really driving home to me the last few days, is it's extremism, and extremism doesn't make sense,
No.
a lot of the times. So it's really unfortunate that he got there, because again, as soldiers, I think most soldiers will tell you that they don't agree with everything we do.
Right.
They don't agree with every conflict that we end up going into, but we do it. And
It's tragic because his background was built off of radicalization in the context that he went to a religious school upbringing, and they said that there was a pipeline from that education that he grew up in to the military, and in that he went from one institution to another. But a young man, again, with Vietnam, that was somebody that was there, that was living through that tyranny, right?
yeah.
This is a young man who in DC, and it's just like the monk was 65 years old when he burned himself. This was a 25-year-old. You haven't even lived fully.
No,
You're just
man.
a quarter of your life. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you could have done so much more if you would have gone to Palestine and helped rebuild it. Like,
Yeah.
you are a young man. You could have really helped to
Yep.
rebuild something. And that just really blows my mind, that it's almost more so of a narcissistic way to go out, because the moment's past now, right?
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
you become propaganda for Hamas, a terrorist organization, to be like, look what we're doing with Americans.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't see it as a win this way out. But what you just said, I think would have spoke volume to everybody.
I think it would have gone a lot farther to accomplish what he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That being said, let's stick to extremism. Kaylin brought it up, and by the way, Kaylin, thank you so much for having my back on that. I appreciate you as always. So on Twitter, some guy wished death on me. He did it very gracefully, though. He said that he wished I got hit by an illegal immigrant doing 100 miles an hour in a car. So I was like, I mean, at least you're creative with it.
It's a little precise. God damn.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn.
he had that. He definitely had that planned out in his mind, I think.
Okay.
But Kaylin and some other people, Kaylin took it and ran with it, and it went from there. But yeah, it got a ton of attention, and he ended up, the post is gone. I don't know if the account is, but yeah, it's just kind of crazy. These folks are getting very comfortable making, idle threats from behind keyboards. And,
Right.
And unfortunately for people like me, we've already had one person come into our neighborhood. So for every 10 of these crazies, one of them is an extremist that will actually follow through. So it's like we still have to be careful, but a lot of the times
100%.
you can tell it's just, it's just an idiot behind a keyboard. But still, we shouldn't let people get comfortable or ever start accepting that as our normal, in my opinion. So and
Kalen, was this gentleman? He worked at Procter and Gamble. Is Kalen?
yeah, did he lose his job? Do we know that for sure?
Kalen,
So
are you putting out that business, girl? You putting out that dirty laundry
bro,
on Friday?
they went to his LinkedIn account. They screenshot his LinkedIn, and yeah, man. And somebody had told me that he was on paternity leave.
Yeah,
and he just will not be returning. I was like, and
See,
he put out a tweet. He says something like, "I don't care if I offend you," and I said, "And I don't care if you lose your job because of us. Have fun."
Like, I think the show should be called Zero Fucks. Thank you, Kalen. So
we gotta look that one up. We gotta look that one up.
But what's interesting to me, it really comes down to that the people feel, and this is maybe more so from Agent Orange, who gave people the feeling that they could just say whatever they wanted without feeling this consequence. But as we've learned, Agent Orange, 83.3 million reasons to shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Just shut up. I'm sorry. I don't know how you want to wish anything on anybody. It's just like, keep it moving. You put in that much energy and now you lost your job. What?
Yeah.
Again, extremism. I mean, it's here. It's domestic.
Yep.
January 6th, extremism. It's all around us.
Before I move on to the next one, I just wanted to point this comment out, because General Putnam said, "Good discussion, gents. The photo that changed my generation was not just the monk, but the little bare, horrified Vietnamese girl running, screaming towards the cameraman with napalm in the background." Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, there's probably a lot of photos like that out there that we don't remember off the top of our head. There's a lot of photos out there, but there's definitely those that you really hang on to that really hit you and shock you, and that's
and they'll be burned in your memory. And it's one of those things where war is not pretty, it's not meant to be, and there's nothing that Hollywood could do to really glorify it in any way, shape, or form. And this is what really hits home. And I was just thinking about this because Jeffrey wrote about that, Israel's not going anywhere and Hamas is not going anywhere. And I want to say, Jeffrey, that there's a little bit of correction there. Hamas is an ideology that I feel could die over time, because Hamas seems like it's not really built off of peace. Palestinian people, they're not going anywhere. You have to differentiate the two. The people that we really need to fight for are the people that are suffering from this. And I can't stand with anybody like Hamas, who is even mistreating their own people. Much like Netanyahu, it's his government that is mistreating the Israelis. Those two peoples are going to stay together, and they are finding a way. That the news may not be covering it as much as you may think, but there really is a major movement of Muslim and Israeli or Jewish people coming together as a coalition, really trying to find peace. Really trying to find it.
I like interesting comment towards the end here. He says we should call the show Zero Tolerance. That's more conforming to the platform. The funny thing is, I have tolerance. There are just certain things that I don't tolerate, and unfortunately for a lot of Trump supporters, it's them. It's everything about them.
I think you're zero and I'm tolerance. I think that's
pretty much. It's
maybe there's something there.
There's some things that I refuse to tolerate, but it's probably why I'm not going to be great in politics. I'm more of the agitator,
Don't poke the bear. Up here comes
fuck
Ryan.
That. I'm coming in with a big old stick. Poke, poke, poke.
Oh, so good. So good.
Oh, my bad. See, and I will say this, and this is my fault. I get a little, what's the word? Not jumpy, but I'm quick
Ryan Rants, baby. They run this show. Get them.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about in comments too. Like a lot of the time, what happens is somebody will make a comment and you're reading it. And if you're already in this, you're already steaming from something, you're reading it in the context of you're already pissed off. So if somebody just words something just a little off that I can misinterpret, that happens sometimes. So
That's why I'm your support animal. Okay?
exactly.
That's what I'm here
And
for.
we have
What
our
we
say
do
and we
love.
have our safe word.
We do have a safe word. Should we say it on here? I don't.
No, we
do
can't say it
okay,
on
okay.
here.
Sorry, not sharing
It's
that.
not a safe word if you tell everybody.
I thought this was one big fun party. I didn't know.
I mean, it is, we're getting everybody in the comment sections. By the way, as we move on, just want to remind everybody that we are looking for you to help us name this show. It is still the We Don't Know show. So,
Fill in the blank show. That's where we're at right now.
So we're still waiting for you guys. Definitely put it in the comment sections. You can email it to us at sheadmedia@gmail.com. Just whatever. We're looking for your guys' help here. And with that, I want to move on though to Lauren Boebert's 18-year-old son.
Yeah.
So what
it runs in the family, man. It runs in the family. It's in their DNA.
Hopefully this works. Okay. So I'm going to read it. It says, Lauren Boebert tweeted out on 2/27 at 2:35 p.m., the Biden crime family will go down as the most corrupt political family in American history. Now, right around that same time, her son was being arrested on 22 criminal counts, with 5 of them being felonies. And like literally as she's tweeting that out. Okay. Like you cannot make that up.
Her husband or ex, her, and now her son turned 18.
I said, look, what's sad is that the family at this point has more mugshots than they do family portraits.
Amen.
And
you know that. Go ahead.
I mean, it's true. So Jason Boebert, Lauren Boebert's ex-husband, came out and said and blamed COVID for their son being arrested on 22 criminal counts and 5 felonies. Said the challenges we have experienced, especially in the last few years with schools being shut down, social shutdowns, and the depression that was set in from a mismanaged COVID shutdown. Are you serious?
Yo, man. Sounds like someone wasn't parenting. I mean, if you weren't getting felt up at Beetlejuice, maybe be more focused on your own kid. Just saying.
I mean, no lies detected.
My man. He's only emulating what he has been raised and conditioned to witness.
Definitely.
His mother and his father both in cuffs for other bullshit. Now, he was doing petty crimes, though, correct?
Well, dude, it's like so much has come out. Apparently, has a sex tape with an underage girl.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, let's see how she does in the new Republican primary that she's trying to jump into to get a new spot because she's about to lose. She about to lose her job. That's a reality.
Yeah. I don't think she's going to fare very well in that new district at all. If like, polling and everything is to be believed, she's not doing well there at all. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was our president, Joe Biden, being declared fit for duty.
Didn't you know, man? Sleepy Joe. He won this presidency in his sleep. He woke up and he got to work. And
like, seriously, he could be in a coma and he'd still win.
He can still run this place in a coma. I love that nobody can give him credit on the right side of the aisle. They say it's his team that's doing all the work. Let me ask you a question. When you're at your job, do you not want a strong team to literally make your job work to the best of all capability?
It's not just one person.
I'm trying to decentralize my position to make sure that everybody has ownership in what they do and they bring me the best possible options so that we can all move forward together. And I'm sitting here like, okay, so if he has the best team, isn't that what Trump ran on? I know the best people. I'm going to bring the best. And look at how that literally fumbled, right? Everybody's catching a case.
Yeah.
Everybody's catching a case.
Everybody. Like, by the way, I'm just going to say this for anybody that, might have known me for a while that might be watching this. Every one of you, I just want you to know. Come here, real close. I was right about it all. When you said that I was crazy, that I was overreacting, I was right. So hopefully you guys remember that when you go in the fucking voting booth this time so that, our country doesn't get stolen from us. Because, like, no bullshit, guys. This dude wants to be a dictator. And matter of fact, you know what? This is a perfect time to play this freaking video. So I've got this video. It's a 2-minute video. And Ian, I know we said we weren't gonna, but I already had this planned.
No.
So I want you to listen to this video and remember that this man is running to be the president of the United States. Not only is he running, he's a former president of the United States. And this is the way he talks and campaigns.
Left Democrats are at it again. They're constantly making up stories about me because their candidate is a mental and physical basket case. There's never been anything like it. He's also the worst president in the history of our country. He went on a very poorly rated show last night, and he talked about Donald Trump and his wife. I don't know the name of my wife. He was referring to the fact that at CPAC, where I had a sold-out speech, the biggest audience they've had in years, I think maybe ever, I made the statement that Melania was very popular because when I mentioned her name, the audience went wild. I then looked at the two people, man and wife, Matt and Mercedes Schlapp, and I said, wow, they really like the First Lady. So this got taken as the fact that I thought Mercedes was the First Lady. It has nothing to do with that. These people are really dishonest. They are absolutely something. They have a horrible candidate who's a horrible president. They make up things constantly. You take a look at when I use Barack Hussein Obama and I interject him into where it's supposed to be Biden, and I do it purposely for comedic reasons and for sarcasm, because a lot of people say that Obama's running the country, not Biden, because he's sleeping all the time. They say, oh, I don't know the name of the president. Or when I imitate this guy getting off a stage, what they do is they say, oh, he had trouble getting off a stage. I have no trouble getting off a stage. Anybody that watches what I do at rallies would say, wow, that's amazing. He can go 2 hours without a teleprompter, not making even a little mistake. Very few people, maybe almost nobody, can do what I do. So here's the story. The disinformation of the Democrats is unbelievable. They do it because they have a horrible candidate. Don't associate me with the mental midget that you portray, because I want to tell you, he should not be leading this country. And hopefully on November 5th, he's not going to be. We're going to have
Okay. To give context to everybody what we talked about. I said to Ryan earlier today, I want to make sure we do not regurgitate nor give Trump tons of our time.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I said that in the context of whatever time we give him, I want to make sure we give to Biden himself. And I don't want this to be a channel where we are just echoing all the bullshit, because all I heard was projection, deflection, vomit, repeat. That's literally all I get from this person. It was hard for me to just listen to him because I just started immediately tuning him out. I can hear his little like that. I just, there's something about him where I'm completely done with this guy.
Yeah.
And I know that this country, I know that the news feeds off this because it sells. It's salacious. This is major.
Yep.
He's doing shit that we've never seen in this country before, right?
Yep.
Other democracies, other countries have prosecuted their ex-presidents. I don't know why we're even guessing what the fuck's going on. And on top of that, and we could jump into it with the Supreme Court and what's going on with that. But what I find so interesting about it is that he is just literally vomiting everything that he's already doing or planning on doing. And then they put it just like Boebert, crime family, blah, blah, blah. But yet look right behind you. This is your family. All right. The call came from inside the house. Plain and simple. And it's really kind of interesting to take in the context that this man, he says 15 million things, and that's what he does. He's a con man. He just spews it all out, and he sees what sticks, but he's going to stumble over himself. So to watch him try to paint that as in like he doesn't do anything or it's all intentional, I'm sorry. You look like a nut job. There is nothing to it. You're an old man that literally has peaked, and now you're just trying to have a taste of power again. And I'm sorry, when you look at the news and how they're literally trying to track this guy, when you look at Iowa and how he won by such a high margin, it was one of the lowest turnouts of any primary. But yet they're not putting that out there.
Yeah, they're not adding the context.
Complete. You know, it's like, okay, so he blew out Nikki Haley in Iowa. It's fucking Iowa, first and foremost, it does not represent the entire country. Second off, I'm not diminishing the worth of Iowa. Iowa has its position in this country, but it doesn't showcase
It's not
everyone.
representative. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
why Biden moved the Democratic primary to South Carolina. That was more representative of what the Democratic Party looks like.
Yep.
And so if Iowa is what the Republican Party looks like, thank you. You're saying everything we need to know. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. But it was a small margin of what happened. He should be worried about what happened in Michigan because he got 68% on the same day that Biden got 81%. So I don't know if you know math, but 81 looks bigger than 68. So I'm just saying. And there was a major protest vote against Biden on the same situation. But Trump also got a protest vote or uncommitted, which his was 10%. So look, yes, there's things that need to be fixed. But if you want to talk about real demographics and really what's going on, look at Michigan versus look at Iowa. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just watching that, like you said, it's just really hard to watch and imagine that 70 million plus might still show up to vote for that dude. I'll never understand it, dude. I'll never understand how somebody could listen to that man speak, see all the court cases that he's going through, see all the judgments against him. He owes over half a what is it? Almost $1 billion, half a billion?
Almost half a billion,
right?
Yep.
Yeah, he owes almost half $1 billion.
That he's trying to tell them that he'll pay 100 million, not 400.
Yeah, he's trying to name his own terms. Like, bitch, you already got to pick your judges on the Supreme Court. Sit down and shut up.
We'll get to
None of us get to pick our own damn judges. You got to pick 3 of them.
Here I am going to, hey man, I did some shit, Ryan. I'm gonna be going to court. But you know what? Good thing I picked my judge. I think I got this. Mickey Mouse is my judge. I think I got this. Oh boy, huh? Guilty. What? No.
The comfort stick said Iowa, reminding us they're mostly just potatoes.
Man, sack of potatoes. It's telling to see how this is all playing out. But I will say to you, I did start reaching out to some of my conservative friends, and I'm like, all right, let me know. What do you got? And they're like, oh, Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win Michigan. And I go, really? I go, but like, even when he had, I go, okay, let me just listen to you. Go ahead. What are you saying? Just let me not talk. Let me just listen.
Yeah, let me take it in.
That's why I wanted to have this conversation. And he started rattling off that, he doesn't listen to anything. He doesn't pay attention to what's going on in the news. He's only solely going in because his money was right under Trump. In his mind, his bank account looked better with a Trump administration than after a global pandemic and the rebuild of the world. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, like, so you really just going to sleep on the fact that a global pandemic happened under his watch and everything tanked. He was not looking after American people at all.
No.
He let it flop. He was more focused on his numbers. And then because he lost and you're watching the rebuild the 4 years after and all that bullshit talk of, oh, the market's going to crash if Biden wins. We're talking historic numbers right now. Mind you, if we can get past corporate greed, Kellogg's telling everybody to eat cereal for dinner because that's what's affordable.
My wife came in. She was so pissed. She was like, you're never going to believe this. I'm like, cereal's fucking $7.80.
Yo, talk about eat it for dinner. Eat it for dinner.
Eat that for dinner.
But at the same time, they're also on the other side saying, look at our historic profits reaching sky high right now. And it's like, well, I wonder why. All this price gouging. So it's like, okay, well, here's what we're doing right now. This is where we need to reel everybody in. I get everybody got a stimulus package and everybody made some money, but that does not mean that now you're going to squeeze the middle class and the people below the middle class to get your money right. This isn't adding up. Something's going to give. So yeah. I'm really leaning in on this, man. I'm really leaning in on this. Is we're gonna find out what really matters. And I have to say, knowing that this man, because I also talked to his wife, knowing that this man is going to vote just because of his taxes. Let's just leave it at that. Just his money. His wife
voters.
One issue voter, but it's literally just about the green. And he doesn't care. He's not going to watch any of the other stuff. But his wife is looking at the simple fact, that she now does not have rights. like she did pre-Trump.
Yep.
And that's something that these people are forgetting. All their wives, sisters, mothers, cousins, they're not talking about who they're voting for. They're just showing up and just saying, you're not stopping IVF. You're not you're literally trying to control us. And this is the part where I don't care about the green. You're not talking about someone's body and them not having any choice. So I don't think they keep this in at all in consideration.
Shannon said, I, an adult, ate Lucky Charms for lunch a couple days ago. You, Shannon, are not alone, and I happen to love Lucky Charms.
Hey, just don't do Cheerios right now. That's the only one that's on being called back because some shit is wrong. Yeah, Cheerios is being called back. Look it up.
Watch out, it's not so good for your heart after all.
Not so good for your heart. Not so good for your heart.
All right, well let's move on to still kind of on the topic of Trump, but the text between Terrence Bradley and Ashley Merchant in the Fonnie Willis case.
Okay.
I believe you sent this to me.
Yes, sir.
So let's have a look. Text reveals shadowy role witness played in the defense attorney's push to disqualify Willis from Trump case. So do you want to go ahead and give it to us?
Pretty much, you're talking about rumors at the lunch table. And these fools literally were texting back and forth about what the story is. And they are going off of, I watched a little bit of it today, of their closing statements. They're going off of the most vague text responses possible, saying that gives us full disclosure that he knows what's going on. And all it said was absolutely. They went off of one word. So absolutely. It's like, but if he doesn't have any actual evidence to bring to this case, what are you talking about? So they're going off of his text to this person who is a lawyer for Trump's folks. And you're just sitting here like, okay, wait a minute. You're going off of just he said, she said. That's it. That's what this whole thing is about. Okay.
Yep.
All right, Judge. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up right now. Because what did Fonnie say? What did Fonnie say, Ryan?
Well, I'm just going to say it said that there were 413 texts between Terrence Bradley and Ashley Merchant, an attorney for one of Trump's co-defendants, reveal months of communications between the two, underscoring the extent to which Bradley assisted Merchant's pursuit of evidence to back up claims Willis and her top prosecutor, Nathan Wade, engaged in an improper romantic relationship. So like you said, nothing. They were looking for it. Sounds like Rudy Giuliani. We just need to find the proof.
They are literally digging either their own grave or for some evidence, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the latter.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, people are dropping names in the comments. We're going to have to go back through and look at these later. Dem dads. Dem dads. Dad Troit's show. We're getting there. We're getting there. Remember, guys, if you're just getting in the show, we're looking for you all to help us name the show. So please
like, subscribe, and also throw your 2 cents on what you think this show should be called. Here we are.
Absolutely. So next, everything that that's going to come up on Feeling Fridays. Let's hang on a second. Illinois judge removes Trump from the primary ballot. Let's take a look at that.
That's now 3.
That's 3, right?
That's 3. Maine, Illinois, and Colorado.
Yep. So if you didn't know, a judge ordered Trump to be removed from the Illinois primary ballot, but he did put a hold on the order. So this is interesting.
It's still 3 on the docket. It's 3 that are out there that we've never seen this before.
Yep.
We've never seen this shit before. And what is really hitting the fan with a lot of folks, including myself, why is it that the Supreme Court was in such a rush to get this figured out, which they haven't given an answer yet, but now they're going to drag their feet on his immunity?
Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on, so they're pending this, they put a hold on this pending the likely appeal. The primary is March 19th. So if they want to appeal this, they gotta get it done pretty quick. My question is, does he even have the money and resources at this point to challenge these things?
No, what's
Like
happening
he's
right
fighting.
now? Yeah, go ahead.
No. Please go.
What we're witnessing right now, and which is why he got his lawyers to put such a scathing letter saying this is what he will do. He'll pay 100 million, is because he does not want to lose one building. And I want you to keep this in mind. He does not fully own a majority of these buildings. He has like
Correct.
30% at this one, 70 at that one. He had his wealth really is diminished, and the fact that he can't, this is the emperor with no clothes. That's what we're witnessing right out in real time.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things where, in even the RNC, they came out on record saying, we're not paying your legal, we're not paying this shit. We're not doing
Yep.
it. They're trying to pass their bills. Like, we're not putting our money towards, because they even realize that they're getting sucked in. But
Uh-oh. We lost your audio. Uh-oh. No. Uh-oh. His audio's like all the way gone. Well, while he figures that out, yeah, the Illinois judge, I think removing him from the ballot is very interesting. Of course, everybody's going to be upset about it. But it's become very clear that that Ian isn't going to get this mic fixed. Oh, dude. It's always something, guys. If it's not my mic, it's his. Why did it just go out like that, though? Wow. All right. Anyway, I'll move on, and hopefully he gets this figured out. The Supreme Court has also decided to take up if Donald Trump should stand trial for the 2020 election conspiracy. So, of course, a lot of people are nervous about this because seeing that Donald Trump appointed 3 of the judges that are on the bench, it's obvious why a lot of people are nervous, because they could just decide to side with him, out of some type of loyalty to him instead of loyalty to the bench and to our country.
Trump's over here striking me right now. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, scared the shit out of me.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Here I
Gotcha,
am.
bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. Literally everything just powered off. Mike, no nothing, and I'm like, and that's it.
Yep, we're good. We're spent.
Got strike.
Kaylin's like, I'll fill in. You need to come on the show anyway.
Kaylin, we need you.
Yeah. China, the Saudis, and Russians own him. I mean, again, people like to talk about all this money that Hunter Biden supposedly funneled to his dad, but we forget about the $2 billion that the Saudis gave to Jared Kushner and his family as they're leaving the White House. Almost like, you do your job for 4 years, and when it's all done, we'll make sure you're taken care of on the back end. But nobody seems to talk about that. You good? Did you freeze now? Oh, shit. And what's crazy, y'all, is we spent a solid hour and a half setting this all up, making sure his setup worked. That's the crazy thing. So they're focusing on Fani. Sorry, let me pull it up. So they're focusing on Fani, but ignoring Cannon and her bias crap. Yeah, exactly. That should be in the news every day. But it's the typical Republican hypocrisy, though. It's just like this lady that, this girl that was killed by the illegal immigrant.
In
They're
Georgia.
posting about it every 2 minutes on social media and fear-mongering and painting every illegal immigrant as these evil individuals. Yet simultaneously, there was a black kid hung in Georgia, but we're not worried about the Americans that are killing the black and brown people. We're worried about the illegal immigrants.
Well, not
I
even
don't
that.
know. I'm actually worried about the fucking actual Americans hanging black Americans from trees in Georgia, but maybe that's just me.
But even in the context of the immigrants, they struck down a bill so they could big up Trump.
Oh, exactly.
So how are you
know,
going to talk out of this side, but yet not even take the action that's necessary off a bill that you created?
Exactly. And when you have to listen to what they're saying. They're
Right.
telling you what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why when you have literal representatives from the right coming out and saying, "Look, we're being told not to vote on this. We're being told to tank this so that Donald Trump has something to run off of."
Right.
So, like, literally people on his own side are telling you what they're doing.
They're all
So
saying
to
it.
sit there and point the finger at the left and say, "Oh, no, it's not us.
Right.
It's not the left." Biden has come out and pretty much said that he'll give them just about everything they want to get the deal done, but he
Right.
wanted to add other stuff to it, and they'll tank it.
Well, there is some also
And then
talk.
they actually did one standalone too, and I think they still tanked that one.
There's some talk about behind closed doors that they're trying to tackle removing contraceptives, tying in women's bodies to some of these bills not being passed.
Oh yeah,
And that's where this is getting shut down behind closed doors. Also, Jeffrey,
that wouldn't surprise me.
there's no batteries included. This is hardwired in. Everything's fully charged. But thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
that's
you.
weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's but that's a good transition into the next one. Let's talk about CVS and Walgreens and what they're doing. So if you let me pull it up. I swear I've got this all organized. So CVS and Walgreens in certain stores will begin offering abortion pills in March.
Yeah.
CVS and Walgreens will begin dispensing the abortion pill mifepristone, which I'm sure I just butchered, this March. The companies confirmed to Time the pharmacies received a certification to offer the drug, which is approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to terminate a pregnancy through 10 weeks gestation, and is often used with another drug to customers with a prescription in compliance with the federal and state laws. So,
And Kaylin is absolutely 100% right, and we should address this. Happy Women's.
there goes your mic again. Yes, happy Women's History Month. It's a brand new mic. Yeah, Bex blocked me. So I don't see what she posts anymore.
You don't see what she
But
posts?
yeah. What's that?
You say you don't see what she posts?
No, somebody blocked me on Twitter. Somebody was commenting in the comments. Happens. Like I said, that's why I don't think I'll be good in politics, because I piss
Hey, man.
everybody off.
Yo.
It's just my personality. But I think it's a good thing.
good.
You know, we were talking earlier, you know, my daughter's 10 and she literally
Yeah.
has less rights today than she did before, you know, the day she was born. So, you know, I'm glad that these stores are at least doing what they can to offer an option for women, not
Right.
just girls, of course, but for women. What are your thoughts?
I mean, this is why Tuberville had his stupid ass stance. You know, really ruining our military readiness.
Yes.
There's no way you could tell me that there's anything, shape or form, that could tell me that he wasn't in the pocket of, in some type of conspiracy with this stupid ass movement to try to control women, and I really find it interesting that this is them calling everybody's bluff. What do you really stand for? Because if we can't mail this to you, or if we can't have this at your local CVS, Walgreens, anything, I mean, I think it's a great stance. Even though these are corporations, I think they're in the right place. You know.
Yeah.
And it's and good luck to all these states who are really trying to outlaw, you know, women's rights. And there's no way around it. I'm not going to say you're pro-life. You can't be so pro-life that you're for the death penalty. Do you know what I mean? Like how some of these people really do talk. You literally are just about controlling women.
Well,
And that's how we have to really just keep that message going.
Well, I want to play you this video and I want to get your reaction. And I want everybody's reaction in the comment section too. So watch this video. Tell me what you think.
For a little sister or a baby. And while a pregnancy might have been difficult on a 10-year-old body, a woman's body is designed to carry life. That is a biological fact. It is not designed to have disgusting death instruments remove her preborn child from her womb, Both situations would be difficult, but we know for a fact that every single time life wins. And that, again, is a statistical fact. It's a terrible, tragic situation, and we must do better to protect children from that kind of a difficult situation that allows such heinous, horrible abuse. And I'm sorry the abortionist did not report the rape, and I'm sorry that the mother permitted this.
And just, they did report the rape. So she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, of course. But with that known,
That's a woman who's never had an O face.
no, fuck that.
That's miserable as fuck.
This is religious bullshit that keeps getting pushed, and they can literally spin shit out any way they want to. A 10-year-old girl, and then you move on to talking about a woman. Okay, well, guess what, dumbass? 10-year-old girl, not a woman.
No, this woman is so fucking miserable, and in that context, she wants everybody else to be miserable with her. And I said it to you earlier. I know you sent me a stupid ass meme, which was hilarious for us to giggle about something totally different. But hurt people want to hurt people, and the fact that this woman, which who knows her history, was she touched by her uncle, who fuck knows, whatever, or by a deacon or somebody in her church? But the same simple fact that she wants to see other people now suffer. I think some miserable ass people are in a place of power, and that may be on a local level or even at the top that we're seeing in this country.
Yeah. I like that. If life wins every time, why do most pregnancies end in a miscarriage? These people are brain dead.
Yeah. Yep. Just like that woman in Ohio who literally dealing with the loss of life is over here being, attacked and jailed by the system now in Ohio. And it's like, well, okay, is it because she's A, black, and B, because it was this miscarriage under your new bullshit ass law? It's just, it's ridiculous. It's really absolutely ridiculous.
And knowing that a lot of it is being driven out of fear of a shrinking population and a shrinking workforce, just knowing that is driving the Republicans wanting to do this. What's this one? Death instruments. Death instruments. We have pills that would be less dramatic. Yeah, it's been, and and I just want to thank my doctors for the death instruments that they use to take out my colon. I know it's not exactly the same thing, but they stuck 7 or 8 of them in my abdomen. So just saying, death instruments work sometimes. And I always like to spin it. If you want to talk about religion, let's talk about religion. If you believe in God, you believe in Jesus Christ, and that we're all put here, then wouldn't you say that they put this here for us? You don't think that he gave us abortion, access to abortion to save people? No.
It is quite telling how people try to use the Bible, which they've used for so many times, against slaves. We're trying to save you, to this, where they're trying to control women. It's always built around control. Period.
You can't take us anywhere either, MJ. It's all right. So with that said, let's go ahead and get to usually we do this halfway through. We're already at 50 minutes, but we're going to go into our Feelings Friday. So on this week's Feelings Friday, Ian, please take us away, sir.
Feelings Friday, brought to you by the GOP. Because these some of my bitches are definitely all up in their feelings with all the L's.
To the face. To the
taking
face.
L's. We're talking about Mike Tyson swings, all right?
Telling you.
They are taking some L's. With Hunter Biden, with Fani Willis, and now what they're looking at with and this is something that I was trying to chime in on with Hunter, is that he dragged Jared Kushner into the conversation. He said, you guys are really busy with me. Why are you not also included in taking on Jared Kushner? Because you're talking about me having business with foreign agents. He literally has business with foreign agents.
And Ivanka.
And the whole
Ivanka
situation.
with China and Jared with Saudi Arabia.
but also Jared with China too. Keep in mind with his.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. You're
And
right.
that's when they were in the office. He had those business dealings.
Yeah.
He got the Saudi Arabia deal on the way out of the office. So it's really quite interesting that Hunter put him on blast with everything that they said. The idiot quote of the day from the GOP was Hunter Biden said all the right things, which it looks good on transcript. But if you were there and you saw it, you would be able to see through it. And it's like, didn't Hunter Biden say he wanted to do this in front of everybody?
Everybody. Yeah.
And that's why the GOP is on Feelings Friday.
And the best part for me was I wish I could have gotten them uploaded, but Nancy Mace came out. She stepped to the microphone. Miss, I'm not looking for the spotlight. Came to the mic, and the first thing she says is, "Well, I know we said we weren't going to do this, but since the left came to the mic, I have to too, basically." And then she said absolutely nothing. You know, they asked a question. They said, "Has Hunter Biden pled the fifth?" And she goes, "No, he hasn't yet." And it's like, okay, so he hasn't pled the fifth, and you're trying to say he's like lying, but
Yeah.
but he's telling
Yeah.
like it was just so stupid. And then our favorite rep right now, Jasmine Crockett, of course, she came to the mic and let everybody know exactly what the deal was, and she said, "This is exactly what I told you guys the other day, that this is why nobody wants to work with you, because you all lie, you bullshit, and this is why you wanted to do this behind closed doors so that you could come out to the microphone and spin this and try to make it out like he was lying and all this stuff," which he wasn't.
But
And then the best part was when Jasmine Crockett came out and she said that Hunter Biden had gone up to Nancy Mace and said something along the lines of, "I hope this has shown you that I'm not the person you think I am." And apparently she responded like a bitch.
hey,
So-
man, what is the saying? Listen to people when they tell you who they are.
Yes.
There's nothing we need to know about this individual. Her entire camp has left her.
Yeah.
Plain
Everybody.
and simple. And then she wants to say none of it's true. If that was the case, then you would still have a full court of people behind you. So
'Cause-
no one worries about her at all.
So, and here's what I just want to drive home with that. Imagine you're in a position that you want to be somebody in Washington, D.C. You want to work for somebody. How many people do you think leave a congressperson in the middle of their term? Like, that's not normal. Most people will stick it out, even if it's freaking horrible, and then move on to, somebody else at the end of that term.
Well, yeah.
So for everybody to bounce on you in the middle of your term, that says a lot. I think that says a lot, because you're talking about people who are they're going to a situation that they don't know if they're going to get back into the Capitol. They're going to work on campaigns or go do whatever. Who knows, right? But they're leaving a sure thing. They're leaving a sure thing to go somewhere else. And that tells me, like you're saying and implying, that it's a shit show over there.
Complete.
And-
Also, side note, when I see Jasmine Crockett, I think of Beyonce's Texas Hold'em. There's no coming back from that. Let that live.
Let
rent-free in all of your heads.
that
Let that marinate. Enjoy, you guys.
That'll be a clip. I'm going to tag her too, because she follows me. So I'm going to tag her.
Just saying.
Yeah, leaving a full-time job while living in DC. That's, like I said, there's definitely something there. And she is getting more and more extreme. It seems like she's getting more and more extreme as this election cycle goes on. So it'll be interesting to see what she's saying in August, September, and if it's going to get worse than it is now. But speaking of things getting better than they were, there's some new guidance that has come out about COVID. That's actually some good news, right?
We are officially over.
So they have basically declared it like the flu,
It is now officially the flu.
right? So
The pandemic is over, ladies and gentlemen. Not to say that it is not dangerous for those with comorbidities, those who are older age,
just
younger
like the flu.
age.
The flu is. Yeah.
It's at that place. My grandfather actually just got COVID. His
Did he?
100th birthday would be this August. This is Papa was a Rolling Stone, so it's one of the grandfathers in my life.
But is he okay? Like,
He got out of the hospital. He is currently recovering. He's a vet, by the way. He's a World War II vet.
Oh, awesome.
His cousin is General Honore that you see on the news, who was there during the levees breaking, and his work during Katrina. You can go back and you can see the family lineage over there. So that's some of my family, and so Papa Honore is his name. He's recovering right now, but the big focus is, will he make it to August for his 100th birthday celebration? Mind you, this man still drives his Cadillac across country by himself.
That's awesome.
They don't make it like him anymore, let me tell you.
Well, it sounds like not, man.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to read a little quick just so that we know exactly what it is. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced Friday that it would wind down much of its remaining guidance specifically targeted COVID-19, including an official end to the pandemic-era plea for Americans to stay home for 5 days after testing positive. The agency cited improvements in the rates of hospitalizations and deaths inflicted by the virus this past season for the change in its recommendations. COVID-19 remains an important public health threat, but it is no longer the emergency that it once was, and its health impacts increasingly resemble those of other respiratory viral illnesses, the agency said Friday. Instead of offering recommendations specific to COVID, the agency said it would switch to offering a unified, practical approach to addressing risk moving forward. We're taking this unified approach so things can be simpler and more likely to be followed. And if they're easier and more likely to be followed, then we're protecting everyone, right? So we're moving on from COVID finally.
So, i.e., corporations are done dealing with it. Get your ass back to work.
Get back to work.
That's what they're saying. And Kaylin, that's what's up. I'm glad to see that you are friends with fam. You are fam, girl.
Yes. So we got that. So
COVID's over. So we are officially done with the pandemic. Now it's, let's get our money right. Let's keep our health up, and let's make sure we raise a better generation than who we are today.
Yep. Speaking of the next generation, we've talked about Israel and Gaza and Hamas and Palestinians and with everything going on over there. And Biden announced today that we will be delivering aid to Gaza via airdrops. So what do you got?
I mean, I think this should have been happening a little bit sooner. My concern is that you have to keep in mind that Hamas is still the ruling power, and they are making sure that they can continue to fight.
Yeah.
They do not care about the people who are suffering.
No.
So it's I don't know how else to get this. The raid that just took place with the trucks, as I always say to you, I'm in no rush to be the first to break news in any way, shape, or form. I really feel like, that was just a major shit show. A lot of innocent people died. I can't imagine the fear and panic that's taking place right now because resources are really dwindling. There is talks of people Hamas hijacking trucks, taking resources back to their bases. There is talks of certain individuals in Gaza who are distributing for payment resources. So it's a free-for-all. And there's major conversations about how the IDF have been executing Gaza police that are Hamas, which then is creating a void and creating nothing but sheer chaos, lawlessness. So I don't know fully what the right course of action is, because if your goal is to wipe out Hamas, but you're killing, the sheriff, what's happening here? Because now it's just kind of a free for all, or is that the play? Chaos. It's really hard to have a rebellion and fight a war when all your people now are turned against each other.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think Biden's comments were kind of where a lot of us are. I think his comments are in line with how a lot of us are feeling about it right now. He said the truth is aid flowing into Gaza is nowhere near enough right now. It's nowhere near enough. Innocent lives are on the line and children's lives are on the line. We should be getting hundreds of trucks in, not just several. Speaking of the airdrops, Biden added, we're going to pull out every stop we can. The president also occasionally said Ukraine when he meant to say Gaza, recording the location of airdrops. Of course he did.
You know, Biden makes it really hard to keep going for Biden sometimes. But,
I know, man.
I will say this. I find it telling that he's changing it up at this point and doing these airdrops after Michigan. So uncommitted might have been a little bit of a wake-up call to his camp.
Oh, don't get me started on that uncommitted shit.
Hey, there's airdrops happening on a Friday after this Tuesday. So I don't know, man. I don't know
if those two are correlated, but
losing a presidency is very correlated.
Yeah, but again, so you're going to go vote for the fucking rapist? You're going to go vote for the domestic terrorist? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No,
like
but
these,
people
you
have
want to go out
approached
there
us
and play stupid ass games. These stupid ass games that the left plays that they're pulled in fucking Michigan. That's the shit that loses elections, because what that does is it shows that the Democratic Party is not aligned. It shows that they're fucking fractured, and that should be something that the Democrats are running on right now. That the Republicans can't get fucking anything done. They spent 2 years fucking twiddling their thumbs and playing Hunter Biden bullshit, and it all came up empty. But they want to play dumb bullshit, and just like you said in the last show, Biden's getting shit done, and the administration's getting shit done. So if you want to play this whole one-issue voter bullshit, go ahead. Let's end up with the rapist and the fucking domestic terrorist. Let's have him back in, who literally fleeced the American taxpayers for God knows how much money. And for everybody out there complaining about your goddamn taxes this year, it's not Joe Biden that you have to blame for that. It's fucking Donald Trump and the Republicans. So remember that when you sit down with your tax guy and found out that you got a big dick up the ass.
Well, that here should have been feelings. But, Ryan, biggest...
I'm good now. I got it out. I just needed to get it out.
The release is everything. The climax, not so much. But, as I was going to say to you, that the uncommitted vote is a shot across the bow that was necessary for him to know about the actual constituents that do exist. In democracy, you do need to have to share your voice. What I have to say to that, Ryan, is come November, it's a different conversation. But for the primary, it's good to use your voice to let people know where you stand.
It isn't. It isn't. Not this election.
Like
I get what you're fucking saying, but
this isn't your family that's dying over there.
No.
These are immigrants that have moved here who have become American.
Who?
The Palestinian people that live in Dearborn?
I'm just talking about, I thought you were just talking about fucking voters.
No, I'm talking about specifically Dearborn right now.
Okay.
Just Dearborn. Just them voicing their concerns and also their grief. This was a vote to let him know where they stand. And all of my correlation
and what it accomplished was you have one of the biggest names in Congress being among the squad, standing up on her fucking soapbox and sowing this doubt. So again, I don't care. I really don't fucking care how anybody justifies doing this. We're literally looking at a domestic terrorist sitting there saying he wants to be a dictator who we know for sure has raped people, and steals money from taxpayers and fleeces them, which has been proven left and right. So you guys want to play this fucking game, because guess what? The independents and even some of the Democrats are listening to that shit, and they're going to go, well, we're not going to vote for Biden now. We're not going to vote for Genocide Joe. Well, guess what's going to fucking happen when you do that? You're going to end up with Dictator Trump. So get your fucking mind right. This is stupid.
Which is going to be the real game. End game.
The game is already happening.
No, but this is what we're looking at, where if you're going to voice your opinion for a primary versus what's really going to come out, because the reality is, did people get it off their chest for the primary of them wanting something?
They're still fucking going.
Once it comes down to, it's either this man or that one, because this is what we have.
No, they're going to vote for the third. They're going to go vote for fucking Kennedy or some other fucking moron. And then we're going to end up with Trump. So like I said, the left doing what the fucking Democrats and the left typically do, they can't get on the same page. Meanwhile, Republicans will all go fucking gang together like a cult, because that's what they fucking are.
Yeah.
And they're going to go vote for the same guy. So again, Democrats and liberals, go ahead and take this video, screenshot it, and when you guys fuck the pooch here and you guys let Trump get reelected, I just want to sit here and say, I fucking told you so. So get your fucking heads out of your ass. I get it. But again, remind this. Joe Biden is not the prime minister of Israel. Joe Biden is not the head of Hamas. So he is not to blame for all of this shit.
Amen. Amen. You are 100% spot on. And the biggest thing is that he's being blamed for this, and I will stand by this. Joe gets shit done. He gets shit done. And I'm really hoping that he does put some pressure on Netanyahu to reel this in, which he can do a lot more. He can do a lot more. But
I think we can do a lot more.
There's a lot more he can be doing to let them know that he's not messing around. And
I like this. Shannon said Trump did the Muslim ban first when he became president. Not just the Muslim ban, but don't remember, we abandoned the Kurds under Donald
100%,
Trump.
100%.
So,
he made the deal with the Taliban. He made that deal.
Exactly.
And Biden said
Biden and the
I'm
administration asked for an extension past August 31st, and it was denied.
Right.
So they did what they had to do with the puzzle pieces they had.
Right.
And again, losing 13
there was never an exit. There was never an exit strategy on any
losing 13 soldiers. I don't think any American was happy about that. But again, to play the kind of political games that were played with those deaths was very upsetting. Of course, there's always some politics that's going to get played with soldiers dying because it's a very upsetting event. But again, soldiers, when we sign up, we know what we're signing up for. I know that the president can't predict a fucking suicide bomber. We can do all the training in the world. We can have all the satellites in the sky. Sometimes you just can't predict what's going to happen. And unfortunately,
usually they're disguised as a civilian, which it's a war crime to shoot civilians. So it's
one of those things that's like, fuck, that happened.
Yeah.
Shit, and again, we had a president that at least showed up to Dover Air Force Base and received our fallen soldiers, which Donald Trump stopped doing after his first time because he got ridiculed by one of the parents. So, again, you want to talk about, I'm going to take Joe Biden over Donald Trump all day, every day. And I'd vote for him in the primary. I'd vote for him. I'm voting Democrat down the ballot because these Republicans are okay with this. The Republicans are okay taking away my daughter's rights. Republicans are okay supporting a rapist. Like, if you're not on your soapbox right now saying we can't have Donald Trump and you're a Republican, then you're okay with it. You're allowing it. You're not saying anything. And you are the people that could actually start swaying people and be like, I'm behind the doors. I see this guy. I'm telling you, he's off his rocker. Yeah. And all these people that are supporting him, they have dirt on them. They have to. Something is keeping these people supporting this prick.
I find it interesting between you and I because we keep doing this crisscross of how we feel towards the Middle East, and I say it's not that we're opposing sides, not that we're not in alignment. We just do this element where we both want a ceasefire, but at the same time, you're not looking at it in the context of
peace would be nice.
But that's my point, and maybe that's the reality. As we're doing this, we are actually looking for real movement toward peace. Yeah. Not a real ceasefire, a real solution. Not a ceasefire because it sounds good on a t-shirt.
Temporary bullshit.
Not this, Becky with a kefa, none of this shit. Like, we're looking for actual real change where we can move forward as a globe to really bring prosperity. But it's so interesting to see, and as we talked about this, everything that's been happening, and then the young airmen, the extremists are trying to take over, and they are the loudest ones on the mic. Yes. But that's where you and I need to be a voice of clarity.
Yes, it's me.
It's I don't know, man. Ryan Rand is very crystal clear. It's almost like that old school episode, that movie where it's just like, I don't know what I just said. What did I say? Play this back.
I just turned off, man. What happened?
This is my photo. Just run the mic, baby. Just run the mic. But I think it's that moment of clarity. And even all the people in the chat here, it's really amazing to read what they're writing because they're really some of the best people. I can honestly say the way that they think, the quips that they have. Really some brilliant individuals here, and it goes to show what your show. Name it, guys.
Our show.
Well, I'm just saying, name it, guys. But what the show is bringing here as a community, which is phenomenal to see unfold firsthand.
Yeah, I know, because we're the same people are coming back every week, and it is nice.
I'm seeing some new names, man. I'm seeing
some new people
names.
too, but it's nice too in
Welcome.
the comment sections. After the show, we get to go back and kind of see what everybody said, and and even I think we've pulled some topics for the next show from comments that you guys left in the previous show. So yeah, we definitely are paying attention, guys. We appreciate it. With that said, let's move on to this week's positive. Let's
You take it away.
well, my positive this week is we got an email. I got an email from our neighbor that I don't know, and he sent an email saying, "Hey, I got your email from Bob, who used to be our next door neighbor, but they moved out about 6 months ago. Said we're having a party over here. We're gonna have some live music and stuff. We want you and the family to come on down." And so we're gonna go there tomorrow around 5-6 o'clock. They're gonna have live band and everything in the backyard. And I'd gone and checked on their backyard for them once, like a year or so ago, because Bob had asked me to, and he was
Okay.
out of town. So
Okay.
when he sent the email, he's like, "Yeah, you checked our backyard when our security camera went off a while ago." So they have a beautiful backyard. So I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
Tell Bob there better not be no goddamn raisins in the potato salad. All right.
No,
That's the
no,
shit
no.
we don't do.
You might just stick to the drinks.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But no, we asked if we could bring the kids, and they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." And so, yeah,
Oh, I
it'll
love
be
that.
nice. But it was just kind of out of the blue, unexpected, and one of those kind of nice things that somebody reaching out and just wanting to be
Okay.
friendly in the neighborhood. And yeah, we have a great
I love
neighborhood,
it.
man. Like, the neighbors
Which
that moved in.
you're part of the HOA. You're a part of the board, so it's a great community.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we do it. We have a great board, just in case any of them end up watching this.
Yeah.
They make my job very easy, but we really do work well together. But what started was when we moved in here, there was no board. So we got a letter saying if we don't get a board together, they're going to send us to a conservatorship through the court. So that's how I ended up. I didn't want to freaking do it, but so I ended up on the board just as a member, and then as time went on, I ended up as the fucking president, and here we are. But no, we've been able to go from only having 2 members, we're up to 8 actual board members, and then we're actually getting people coming, and we've got something planned. We're going to do like a little party, like a block party. We got that planned. We're going to do it on my street. So yeah, man,
love
we
it.
got a lot
I
of good
absolutely
things
love
coming
it.
up.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. The thank you for sharing that. That's gonna be sounds like a really great weekend.
Yeah, man.
I had an extremely busy weekend or week that just passed. As you know, Rob just had his birthday. My
Yep.
sister Ida had
Happy
her
birthday, Robbie.
I am notorious for making memes about my family. And
Yes.
so I was hard at work making them into characters. And one of my favorite characters was making my sister into Captain Hook and me as Peter Pan, because that's just how that shit plays out. But I put Rob as Wendy because we all know that she's a queen from time to time. And it took me about 30 minutes to find the specific photo I needed of his head that had this look of fear to put on Wendy's body. And then I gave my mom as Shmee, and then or Smee, and then my sister Shnita as Tinkerbell. Everybody loved it. They figured it was the Helen Opus, but it's a number of things because I have so many siblings. While all that was taking place, my 2 brothers got together and they went to see Dune Part 2. They said the movie is gorgeous. And my brother got the Fleshlight pumpkin popcorn. So he now has this anus-looking popcorn thing.
Oh my God. It really does look like that. It really, you sent me that and I was like, it didn't even take me a second to make it. I was like, oh yeah, that's what that looks like.
So I said it finally made it into the family. So we have one now in the house. So we got we got the popcorn. And
Oh, good
I
Lord.
asked my brother 50 million questions. I go, what is it like? Do you put your hand in? Does it hurt pulling it out? Like, what is it
Does it
hard?
leave
Is
marks
soft?
on your wrist?
And I'm like, are you gonna fuck this thing? Like, why do you have this? I'm like, please just throw
Send
it
it
away.
to him with a
man.
little thing of lube inside of it, like, here, let me just prep it for you.
Oh my God. So I'm just dying laughing. And I'm like, I'm going to see the movie. I don't think I need the
I
popcorn.
don't want to
man.
need
I
the
don't-
popcorn.
And I definitely don't want you sharing that popcorn with me. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a sharing popcorn.
So it's just been
Oh,
a good
gosh.
family affair, man, happening all around with all the Shermans. So
I know. I always
we're
love
having a
your
good
guys'
time.
posts. Your
Oh my
guys'
God.
family posts are always great.
We have a good time, man. We really enjoy each other, or we hate each other, and we just really disguise it well with humor. I don't know. It's one
Yeah.
or the other.
Maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little
Let's
bit of
mix it
both.
up. You never know. Um, but no, man. Awesome spending my Fridays with you and all of you in the comment section. We love you guys to death. So if you haven't, please remember to click that subscribe button, whatever platform you are on watching us right now. And if you love listening to the podcast and not doing the videos, you can download us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, whatever platform you're on. We're probably on it now. So
And
we
send
are,
this episode to a friend.
send this episode to a friend. Help
Send
us
this
grow.
episode to an enemy. Let's keep that going.
Ooh, I kind of like
Yes.
that.
There's a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Like, hey, just go ahead and watch this. Go to about the 15-minute mark. It'll be good. No, but seriously, guys, thank you so much for continuing to support us. It means the world to me, and I know Ian as well. So if you have nothing left, brother, I'm going to sign off and say, as always, much love and keep fighting. We'll see y'all next Friday.